Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Walter Loers. I'm the president of the New Jersey Foundation for Open Government. We join many of the suggestions that you've heard today, and I think you're going to continue to hear. We did submit written comments, so I'll not dwell on those, but I want to focus on one issue. We think that any change in mandatory fee shifting for OPRA prevailing requesters is highly regressive. I represent a lot of folks who are requesters. I represent them in court, and I represent almost all of them on contingency. And maybe I'm part of the cottage industry that we heard a little bit before, but I'll tell you, it doesn't do me any good to take a case that I lose. That hurts OPRA, that hurts my client, that hurts me. So I try to take good cases. And I'm able to take good cases from anyone without regard to who they are or how much they can pay. I don't make anyone pay, and I can tell you that a lot of my clients, they wouldn't even be able to pay or want to pay the $300 filing fee to go to Superior Court. And so because of the mandatory fee shifting for prevailing party requesters, OPRA requesters can get great attorneys. I know already that municipalities have great attorneys. I litigate against them all the time. They're excellent in what they do. They settle cases they should settle most of the time, and they fight cases they should fight most of the time. But without fee shifting, most of my clients would not have access to any OPRA legal services. These include parents of children with disabilities. These include poor people. These include working people, working middle class folks, and even some people who maybe they wouldn't be poor or working class, but they spend the money on the mortgage. They spend the money on their kids' special needs. These are all of my clients, and most of my clients would either not be able to afford an attorney, or they would choose not to pay for one. Some of them maybe would bring the case pro se, but they would certainly be denied legal services that today they have access to. So as we hopefully move forward and hopefully have additional rounds of meetings and hopefully additional rounds of amendments, we keep the current structure of fee shifting intact, because to do otherwise would make the law highly regressive. And what I mean by that is that the people most need legal services, the most vulnerable, would have less or sometimes no access to them when it came to denials of access to records. Thank you.
So I have a question for you, sir. If you were to bring, you represent a lot of folks, and we appreciate you representing a lot of volunteers. If you were to bring and I'm saying this is you, but if you were to bring a frivolous lawsuit against a municipality and lose in court today, who pays your bills? The taxpayers pay it, or does your client pay it?
Well, no one would pay my bills, because if I brought a frivolous lawsuit, then presumably the other side would write me what's called a Rule 148 letter, and they would say,
if you were to lose by a judge, the judge was to rule against you to get frivolous, who would pay your fees?
well, if I lose, no one pays my fees.
Nobody pays your fees.
When I take a case, I want to be very clear. When I take a case on contingency, I bear the risk. Okay, I bear the risk, and I'll tell you that
That's not contingency. You represent a client, and you're getting paid a fee, right?
sort of a fee-paying client,
A fee-paying client.
which is about 1% of my practice. Yes.
When you go before a judge and the judge rules against you,
Yes.
and rules in favor of a county or municipality. What I understand, I may be incorrect here. Who pays your fee? I understand.
Well, in that scenario, when I have a fee-paying client, which is someone who I bill them on a monthly basis, and they pay my regular hourly rate, if I lose the case, the OPRA case, then each party would bear its own costs. So that means that the public entity would pay its own counsel fees, and my private plaintiff would pay their own counsel fees.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.